New follower detected. The Schleppy. New subscriber detected. Sporkwitch. Subs gifted by Scottish Viking Gaming for 1 gift.
We got it. Man, you know, this is part of it. It's just part of it. Oh, it's all good. Mhm. Ooh, spicy. Like, oh, you know. Dude, we're freaking back. We're back. Oh my gosh, dude, what a week. Like, I said this at the summer camp that we were doing, like, probably 15 times. I was like, "Man, this week is the longest year of my life." Like, it's like, it's just a lot. It's like 2 and 3 shows a day and, you know, trying to wrangle everybody's cues and mic needs, and okay, I need 7 belt packs and 3 handhelds all at the same time and make sure they don't feedback and all that kind of, you know how it goes, man. It's fun, dude. I live for that stuff. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's in like actual streaming, game streaming, live production, television production, like live show, concert venue, all those things, man. Like the reality of it is a good tech, and those of you guys that are streaming, you are techs. I mean, like whether you realize it or not, like you are production technicians, and you are your own production team. And the mark of a professional production team or a good production team is not somebody that's got all the great bells and whistles and can do it all, because lots of us can do it. It's those that can execute it. When I was in college, I was in performing arts and music and all kinds of stuff, and I toured playing drums. And my music director taught me something that absolutely changed my life. She said the mark of a pro musician or a good musician is not the guy that can play the most insane lick on guitar or the most insane fills on the drums. It's the person that understands what's coming next and can execute it without messing it up. And it's the same exact thing with production. Understanding where you are, what you're supposed to be doing, how it's supposed to be functioning, and making sure that you can land the plane without the viewers noticing that there's ever any issues. We had issues all week long at camp, but nobody ever knew it. Yep. It's almost like you live in South Florida. Yeah. Yep. We used to tell the bad workers, hey, do me a favor, go take 2 weeks off and quit. That's what we would tell people. But here we are. I hear you great.
Did not keep my settings.
There you go. You should be able to hear me now, Booms. Thank you for letting me know, dude. For that, are you a streamer, Booms? I don't think you are, right? You're just a guy that likes video games, which is totally fine.
Get him an entry.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that, guys. For all that to say, see again, bugs again. I forgot to turn the bot on. This episode 1A, you guys going down faster in flames than just about anything I think that's ever been invented by mankind. Are you shy? You do, really? I didn't realize that you did stream, dude.
Well, welcome to it.
Okay, because what we're going to do, just to let everybody know, since you guys are new, and this is kind of like episode 1, we do have the not rigged slot machine. And let me basically do one check on the setting real quick, and then I'll show you guys what it's going to be about. So what we want to be able to do, since you guys are here hanging out with us, if you guys do decide to support, the stream and stuff like that, either through gifted subs or whatever, then you guys have an opportunity to basically win a free stream overlay pack of your choice from nerdordie.com.
Dude, that site's awesome.
And so that way, then you can up your game, because that's, as you do your stream here, like I did. Yeah, totally not rigged. Check rig settings. Exactly. You know what's going on. That, like even with like this setup that we've got right now on this show, I took a whole entire day, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
And just freaking dialed it in.
You were blowing me up.
Yes, I was. I was like, look at this. How about this?
What a legend.
And Ray was like, dude, can you back off, please? Ray, actually, he wasn't. He was
away for 14 days.
Yeah. No. But he was real gracious about it. And so, I want to make sure that it looks good. I'm still going to do some tweaks to it and stuff like that. And I probably should have done that prior, but it is what it is. So, but this is basically what it looks like, you guys. So when you guys do come in, you guys sub, or you guys, do whatever, then we'll refresh it. You get 3 rolls. If you get match 3 with Ray's on this too as well. So Rage Goat, right? And so we're going to do it again. So it's got myself and Ray.
I have a very similar rage emoji. I love it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of cool because we're going to talk about ways to get emotes and stuff. And I know there's probably going to be some controversy in some stuff that we talk about, AI or not to AI. That's kind of the question. Yep. But as we get started, and I know for those that aren't familiar with you, Ray, kind of give us a little bit about your background and such.
Yeah. So I get asked this question a lot because people act like I was like birthed into Rumble out of nowhere.
You almost kind of were.
I kind of was. Yeah, I guess so. So quick background. uh, lots of live production and television background.
Mm-hmm.
Started back in 2010. This is back before social media was even called social media. I think Twitter was really like the only one that was up and bopping. Started like a Washington Redskins fan blog that ended up getting picked up by the NFL and picked up by the team. And we started getting paid to like drive up to the team and do on camera, off camera, like radio, writing articles. I mean, we did all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like just absolutely blew up. I think in the first month we started generating a daily audience and daily traffic of like 56,000 unique visitors, and it just kind of grew and blew up there. So did a lot of like ESPN and like national media stuff and hits because of that and because of those doors. And then I also do in my actual day job, like not just for fun, like I do production for churches and for different venues and different clients. I've got various NFL and Major League Baseball clients all over the country that I deal with and work with. A couple churches I consult with, and different organizations and venues that I consult with. And so I do everything from pre-post live. I do everything from like it starts in camera, and I do the camera stuff, and I do the post-production. I lead teams and do all that kind of stuff. And so all that has kind of like bled into my streaming career. And I tell people this way, like this content that I'm doing is the content that I make for myself, because for me, I started learning how to do, whether it was Photoshop or Premiere or Sony Vegas or After Effects or like whatever the things that I was doing. I learned it just because I enjoyed like knowing how to do it. Like I just enjoyed making it. And developing those skills when I was a teenager and when I was young and through college opened the door for me to start finding internship work and volunteer work, which turned into leadership work and professional work and all that kind of stuff, and opened the doors for me. I'll never forget when we started the Redskins website and it really blew up. One of the guys that was working with me, he was like, "Hey man, like if you're not doing this for money, what are you doing it for?" And I was like, honestly, because I can. Like I'm just doing it because I can and I enjoy doing it. And so I'm very blessed in the fact that I go to work every day doing stuff that I absolutely love. I lead a team of like 50 different production people around 20 different campuses every week that have issues and tech and problems all the time. And then I come home at night and I turn on the camera and I play video games and talk to you guys. So like all those things that happen in real live production, or I guess I'll say it this way, all the things that we do in streaming are actually influenced, and if not the exact same thing that we do in live production. I think that it would be surprising for a lot of you guys to realize that if you're streaming in 1080 quality at 60 frames per second, you're actually streaming at better quality than broadcast television. That's been around for like a million years. We have the tools in front of us to be able to go live to the whole world at any time that we want and do so at a better bit rate, a better frame rate, a better graphic settings, a better, all those things than like even what ESPN is doing to everyone's TVs. And so streaming has really been a huge catalyst for content. And I think that like if you look at like my kids, they don't even watch TV. Like all they watch is everything's online. It's all
everything. Well, I mean, everything has moved to streaming now too, as well. I mean, that's just we don't even pay for cable. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for a decade. Like, well,
and
it's still like $120 or something crazy like that. It's like, dude, how can you guys justify charging that much? I mean, I understand contracts and stuff, but
yeah, we get live TV through Hulu or whoever it is. That sometimes we have YouTube videos. Sometimes Hulu, it depends. And so like that's my background. And so like I love the community building aspect of this. Rumble has been like so gracious to welcome me with such warm, open arms. It's been unbelievable for me. I've streamed on every platform that you can ever think of. And part of it has been because I use my content creation to test what I'm doing in real life too. You know what I mean? Because they do play so far back and forth. I learned 100% of OBS and streaming during COVID because we had to do that in my TV job. Like we had to immediately understand and embrace all of those things. Like in a day, we had to know it. And so, so the left hand influences the right hand. I've been around a lot, seen a lot, and pretty excited to share those experiences with you guys.
I know. Well, it's amazing because you definitely have that, what they call that golden voice. You know what I mean?
The radio voice?
Well, yeah, the radio voice, like the announcer voice.
Face for radio.
Well, I mean, your face is fine. I think so. Anyway, I think your face looks better than my face. Let's just be honest right there. But, there's some people that just have like natural audio charisma, for lack of a better term, to where like their voice just sounds like it's made for audio. Yours just happens to be that way. Not to toot you up.
The Riz.
The Riz? That's possible. That's possible.
No, I appreciate that.
Because I did like in my days, like a little bit about my background, I'll get into here in a second. I did try out for different, voiceover work and stuff like that. One of them, Time Warner wanted to hire me to do some sports broadcasting kind of voiceover work.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I couldn't quite get the tone like you've got the tone for that. You know,
yeah.
I can do voiceover work. I can do reads and stuff. I did, announcements and stuff like that for some different ministries, for some radio ministries for a while. And that was a lot of fun. I felt very blessed to be able to do that. But I just couldn't get the sports radio. It's a different kind of inflection on the vocal points.
Yeah, and I think my background being in like sports radio, because I did a lot of podcasting with that, I think maybe that's where some of it comes from. But it's funny because Danny and I just had this conversation. We were playing PUBG the other night, and Danny died as Danny does. And off 100 meters away from everybody to himself, just all alone and dead. And so he's watching us and starts like arena broadcasting. Here we have This Is The Ray, and like Danny's got like his voice is 50% deeper than mine. Like when he does what he does,
so he sounds like a real man.
I think Meggie Moo was in the chat, and she was like, "Oh my god, like why is your voiceover like you should do voiceover?" And of course he's like, "Well, that's what I do for a living." I was like, "Shut up, dude, you're lying. You don't do that at all." I do voiceover work, but I never like when I get booked for gigs, I never get the like, welcome to blah 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 blah. Like I never get that. I'm always the guy that's like, we ran out of milk at home, and my wife said, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's like always like the normal, like whatever. But back in the day, yeah, sports radio is my thing. And I'll chalk it up to this. And like here's a little tools of the trade tip right from the beginning. Most people don't understand how to use a microphone.
Yes.
Like at all. Like they don't understand positioning, they don't understand angles, they don't understand the term eat your mic, they don't understand any of those things. And so like I watch streams, and a lot of guys, and I'm messing up, like their mic's like way off like this, and like you can hear me right now, but like if you want me to sound right, then this microphone specifically is designed to basically be rubbing me in the chin, because that's the way the Shure SM7 is designed. Now there are some microphones that are designed to be different ways, but even this thing, if it's off over here, like you can hear the tonal difference.
Oh yeah,
my voice sounds terrible right now.
Yes.
Understanding your equipment and understanding the way that it's designed. This is a directional mic that's very much intended to be pointed right at a vocal like this. It can be used to mic up instruments or different things, but it's intended to be used to mic up people that are speaking and podcasting. I've started to see some singers using it to track things. And that works from time to time, but understand the equipment that you have and how it's intended to be used, and addressing your microphone. Like I'm not looking over here. I'm not like whatever. I'm very conscious wherever I look that my microphone is right here. It needs to be a fist length away from my mouth or closer, and I keep it closer as much as I can, and it pulls up all that warm-bodied goodness.
Yes.
Because my voice isn't that deep, but it'll pull that warmth out.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, because like with me, I use condenser mics, and they pick up pretty much everything. So you got to really use a good air filter if you can get it.
Musician text.
And that's
those music, like it's the musical background.
And that's true. But I mean, I always try to keep it close. I try to keep it directional. So I listen in my headset to what my vocals sound like when I'm talking. So this is fairly centered, even if I'm looking this way. What's up, Big Z? Video Games, welcome. And so it's important that you learn to love the mic. That's why I always tell people. It's like love your mic. Eat your mic.
Well, and
put up to your mouth.
Too, like to piggyback on that, you have to learn to love your voice.
Yes.
And you have to learn how to be critical about your voice. So many times I hear people that say things like, "Oh my God, you have your voice monitored in your ears. You can hear yourself." Oh, I hate hearing myself.
Yep.
And I literally, every time I'm like, well, grow up, dude, because the reality of it is you should be, while you're talking to and addressing your viewers and addressing, whatever your audience is, whether you're on stage or on camera, in studio or in a booth, whatever it is, you've got to be able to hear your tonal inflections. And so like, if I'm recording a video, like I'm doing VO work for a video, even for my channel, like I'll do 5, 6, 7, 10 takes of a specific line when I'm doing my line reads. And as it's live, I'm hypercritical. Okay, I didn't inflect on that word the way that I wanted to. This sounds flat. I need to make sure that I'm taking the audience on a journey with me. What is the listener thinking? Like honestly, grow up. Everyone has a voice. I mean, like, and if you want people to hear your voice, then you need to be one of the people that are able to hear your voice. Yep.
And I think that getting the right equipment. Like for a long time, I winded up buying a Roland Bridgecast, and I freaking love it. I don't know why I waited so long to get one, because I would use a crappy headset mic for Discord, and then I would use, of course, my condenser mic for stream. What's up, Black Fox? Welcome, dude. Thank you for the follow, my friend. I appreciate
My
that.
guy, Black
Detected.
Fox in the
Black
house. Dude,
Fox, down to
are you
7.
living after your 24-hour stream, dude? Holy jeez.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys can do that, man. That's a young man's game. And because you threw a follow, and you're a streamer, so you're going to get one roll on our not rigged slot machine. Okay, and so basically the what it is, you guys, those of you guys that are just coming in right now, if you guys do win on the slot machine, you guys will get a chance to pick a stream package from nerdordie.com, that should be the link right there. You guys can go and check it out. I get all of my overlay stuff there. This overlay that you see right now is from nerdordie.com. And so that way, then you tell me which one you guys want if you win, and then we'll give it to you. And it's just a way that, we can basically give back to you guys for supporting what we do.
Yeah, we love the community, man.
100%. So here you go. Here's your roll, Black Fox. You ready?
Black Fox's roll. Is he gonna? We need some cool roll music.
Oh, you know what? That's what I forgot to freaking bring up here. See, does he get it? And you lost, bud. But thank you for playing. Appreciate that. Bum, 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 bum. I'll do. Yeah, I did get my Stream Deck situated. I just got to get it programmed. I forgot to do that during the week. But anyway, all that to say, we appreciate you being here, dude, and thank you for hanging out this morning. And if you guys got any questions about streaming or about Rumble, please throw it in chat. That's kind of what we're kind of gearing the show towards. Where you fix it, stream it, you own it. Because that's the most important thing. When you're a streamer and you're a content creator, whatever you put out there, you own it. So do whatever you can to try to make it the best you can, and just move forward. If it's a little crappy, that's okay. Just learn how to improve it, or wait until you can get the funds to improve it.
Well, I mean,
we've all had to do
the thing
that.
too is like people need to understand that they're like branding, the concept of branding, right? If I say branding to most people that are in the chat, I would almost guarantee if I asked you what branding was, you'd be like, "Oh, it's my logo," and that's just wrong.
It's part of it.
Branding is your logo is a part of your branding, but how do you look? How do you sound? What represents you? What in the case of logos, how do they reflect who you are as a person? How do they reflect what your brand is speaking to be? What's the story that you're telling people? And then understanding that every one of your streams, every time you go live, every piece of content that you put out is reflective of your branding.
Yep.
And people are going to respond to you depending on how they see what your brand is. So the VapinGamers brand, this guy is a technological genius. The guy and everything he does is super hyper technical and produced and well done. For me, people jokingly give me a hard time about how my audio sounds and my camera looks all the time. I think that's becoming more important in my brand than to even good gameplay, because people are coming in and trying to see, well, how's he doing this? What is his lighting setup? All those sorts of things. And so understanding that your branding needs to be protected. Like the NFL says it this way, that you have to protect the shield. Black Fox has to protect Black Fox, and VapinGamers has to protect VapinGamers, and choosing when to put out content and when not to. Because guys, here's the truth: I make videos every single week, multiple videos, offline videos that I'm like, no one should ever watch this. This is terrible. And I got to go do it again. You have to be able to do that and understand what your brand image is and what's worth putting out, so that you're putting out the best. Not because you have to be this huge professional, but you should be giving people something that's an industry standard that they want to consume.
Yeah, and
Black
I think
Fox says I changed everything about my brand. Used to drink and stream, and more 2 years ago stopped and made it more family friendly or more friendly. It's made a big factor change. Look at your brand.
Yep.
Absolutely, Black Fox.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, and I think that's very important. You can be really super edgy if you want to. The good thing about being on Rumble is that you can be whatever you want to be. Just don't be surprised if no one else is either following the content or wanting to offer you sponsorships, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah. Companies care.
Oh, they very much care.
100% companies care.
And so, and if a company decides to take a chance on you, like they give you a free code or free something for whatever, make sure you do what you tell them you're going to do. Follow any NDAs, all that other kind of stuff. Don't be one of those freaking creators that just, comes out and be like, well, sure, this is all big hype. And so here's, 3 week ahead, look ahead, here's gameplay. They're going to find you out. They're going to,
you're done.
Yeah, you're done in the industry, just about.
Well, I mean, I think it's so funny because this happened just recently with Battlefield. Battlefield 6 is in a lot of testing, and I can tell you, because I'm involved in some of that testing. I've not actually got to do it, but I've been very involved in trying to get involved. I've probably filled out like hours and hours worth of paperwork to go to their battle, like to go to EA's location up in Central Florida and do some in their studio testing. And it's number one, not happened yet. But number two, even though it hasn't happened, like it just like they are so absolutely secretive of what's happening, because during the first run of the Battlefield lab test, everybody leaked footage. It leaked everywhere. It's like everyone that recorded at home was or that did it at home recorded it, and like literally your contract says like I won't even screen record, like I am not recording for personal use, for private I will not record any of this. And the reality of it is that people don't understand, these guys that are leaking this stuff online, yeah, sure, their accounts are blowing up for the 3 hours before Twitter shuts them down and like EA takes all the stuff away because they've got legal right to do that. But you could be sued over $250,000.
Oh yeah,
for breach of contract.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got to understand that these things are super, 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 super important. I mean, even like, I mean, I've been joking about this and laughing about it and ranting about it because I can't stand this dumb new Superman movie came out, and I'm frustrated that they ruined the universe. And I saw the movie, and what I witnessed as a moviegoer did not match at all like what people were talking about in the movie, like all these very clearly paid influencers. And then the influencers started leaking their DMs with the studio, that literally the studio is saying like, hey, if you want another opportunity to have this access, you want to come out on set, you want us to give you this, whatever it is, like, then we expect for positive reviews of this movie to help. Like, dude, like that's rough, but like that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think that has to be something that each of us as a content creator has to basically come to eventually.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not you're willing to take that step. I know a lot of them aren't. Like, what is it, Linus Text Tips over on YouTube, for example?
Yeah.
I appreciate him because he actually calls out, like NVIDIA, for example. They do that exact practice with their GPUs. If you do not give a positive review, they will. Yeah, they will literally put you on a blacklist, and you will not get anything from NVIDIA anymore at all. Oops. Okay, come on, bot. Well, I'm using the OBS bot. There we go. And so it's tracking me, and so I turned it off, and so I decided to go ahead and turn it back on.
Yeah, I think the thing that I would encourage people to do too, like if you're getting involved in brand deals, don't take the brand deal just because you're a small creator and you haven't taken a brand deal before.
Yes.
Understand the companies that you're working with, and make sure you care about the companies that you're working with, and honestly that you believe in the product and use the product. And it's something like it's so different when you have a genuine love and a push for a product versus something that you're like on the fence about. And so like for me, I've probably in the last 2 months since I've come back, like I think I've turned down 3 times as many opportunities as I've taken, because, and I've had some of those conversations text with you. I'm like, man, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if this fits me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is something that I feel like I can stand behind. Like, I kind of like the product, but also like, I'm not going to use the product because I don't think it's as good as what I'm already doing. You know what I mean? So it's like understanding those things.
Yes.
You know, and then making sure. Black Fox says, know your worth too. Absolutely. Black Fox.
100%.
Know what you're worth. Understand that your CCV is important and your community is important and all of those things. And like, I don't think that like, I think that sometimes people get so obsessed with like becoming a pro streamer. Like, oh, I've got to have content deals and I've got to have products and I've got to have all this. You really don't. I think step one needs to be establish your brand and make content that you absolutely love. And when you do that, all these other things will follow you. Like these doors are going to open naturally by you doing what you do. But if you start making content with an end game of product deals and all these other things, you're going to find yourself absolutely like taking deals that you don't want and putting yourself in positions that are terrible. And then when you stop caring about it, you're going to burn out quickly, number one. And number two, you're going to be willing to break NDA because you just want to get the content out there. It's a problem, dude. I mean, like, it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I'll you know, to give a little bit on my background, I guess it's a good segue to do it, you know, for like brand deals and such. But I originally started out, I used to play Matrix Online. And I think you and I were talking about this before my power went out and such.
I'm so sad I never got to play that game.
That Matrix Online, if you guys have never played it, a freaking amazing game. They used to do these live in-game events where, you know, they had live actors play the characters of like Morpheus and Trinity and, you know, and everybody else from the Matrix universe. And so there used to be this radio station that would basically be playing in Matrix. So they were using Winamp. And, you know, they were streaming music and all that other kind of stuff and community notes. Hey, Morpheus has been seen over in this such and such location. It was a ton of fun. I mean, something that I've never experienced with any other game, apart from that. But anyway, so long story short, I was like, oh, cool. So you can kind of do that. I looked into it, learned how to do it. I started a Christian radio station online, which I ran up until 2016. It ran for about 6 or 7 years. I got to meet, just because of my love of radio, I used to do like a 3-hour show every single Saturday, which was very taxing. I'm probably never going to do that again, which is why we're keeping this to maybe about an hour. Because it takes so much stuff to basically get, situated. And I would do it politicals and all that politics, a lot of work. And so anyway, but as a result of all that, I was able to meet some people that I really looked up to in the faith, different authors that had them over to my house, to have dinner and all that other kind of stuff. And it was great. I got to do live shows. I started doing, live streaming via, a little cell stick. Remember the little cell internets they used to have back in the day? Which that was rough, just to get something that was like 128 kilobits per second and audio quality streaming during that time off a cell signal was very tough, but I did it. And so then basically all that to say, I kind of took a break. I got a book deal from Thomas Nelson that I became a published author on how to do your own internet radio station for ministries and stuff like that. And so they paid me pretty good to write that book. And that was just like out of the blue, just because I worked with a guy who worked with indie artists, did an interview, and goes, hey, this guy, approached me about writing a book on how to do internet radio. And he goes, I told him that it wasn't for me, but I told him it was all you. And he put me in contact, boom, 10 grand later, wrote the book, yada, yada. So anyway, all that to say, I did that to about 2016. I finally kind of got a little bit of burnt out because it was just taking so much time and stuff to do it.
Yeah.
And with my son and stuff like that. So then I took a break for about a year. And then I ran into streaming, and I was like, well, I already have all the equipment already, and I loved game too. So I was like, well, let's just go ahead and, pivot. So that's kind of what I did. And then I worked on learning the different tools of the trade, the different software types, camera types, mics, I already had, so I didn't worry about that. I had a, 12-channel mixing board, which is probably a little overkill. Still,
it's a lot overkill.
Yeah, but I can't help it. I mean, I mix everything through it, and it makes it sound great.
Go big or go home.
That's what I'm saying. So, all that to say, with what Ray said, it's true. If you guys take care of your craft, if you guys take the time to put in the work, you will get noticed, you will get deals, and then just make sure to stick to the deal, whatever it is that they want to do. Some of them you can basically go in and you can, you can negotiate what you're going to do, and some of them you can't.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and you got, I mean, like Black Fox said, you got to understand what your value is. We also have to understand like what your positioning is. In the beginning, it's going to be like, am I taking the deal or am I not? Like, you're not going to go back to whether it's, I see a lot of people that work with W Energy, because W, good for them. I mean, they partner like everybody. Like, they'll give anybody a code, and that's great as a good place to start. But also, like, understand what your contract is. Like, are you willing to sign that for a year and know that you're going to be stuck to a year of a super saturated, market? You're not. The point I'm making is you're not going to go to W in that first contract and be like, I want $500 a month. They don't care.
Yes.
Like, they don't care if you want $5 a month. Like, they're not doing that. And so understanding what your value is, but also understanding what your position is. And if you don't understand what your position is, you're never going to understand your value. Never.
Hey, what's up, Bless?
Bless says, freshen up energy. Dude, I got a lot of people that work with Freshen Up. A lot of good friends of mine that know their owners very well. And rant and rave and say really great things about them. For me, Glitch Energy has always been awesome to me. They're based down here in Florida where I am. Their US offices and warehouses are. And so, like, to have a local company that's reached out to me and has shown me a lot of love over the years, it just made a lot better sense to me. I know people that like have been like, oh, I got to get G Fuel. I'm like,
G Fuel's overrated.
Like,
that's all I'm saying. G Fuel's overrated.
Like, you just want to have it to say that you have it. I mean, I guess there's some perceived value in that. But understand the company that you want to work with and why you want to work with them is super important.
Yeah, and Sentinel says the values to be a good streamer and the values to be a good gamer are still very different. And that's true, Sentinel. I think, for all of us, kind of finding where that middle ground is as content creators and streamers is very important. What do you want to be? I mean, you can be both if you want to. It just makes it really, really tough. I try to be middle of the ground. I got like okay gameplay and I got like an okay stream. My goal is just to have fun.
I don't even know why I'm here, but here we are.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm not good at streaming or gaming, and here we are.
But to be honest, he says it's messing gaming up. But you think so? I think that there are people out there that can do a little bit of both. The whole thing with Tim the Tap Man or whatever, what he said about, gaming's dying on Twitch. It's like, no, Twitch is just dying. Okay. And not only that too, but there is a thing to pull people up from underneath you to help pull them up. You don't have to totally close yourself off. I get being exclusive because everybody wants a piece of your time. I totally get that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to bring up other streamers underneath you that are coming in behind you to try to give him a shot, to be like, hey, check this guy out and see what he does, and just see where it goes.
I think the thing too, like I'm going to say the mean thing, right? And then we're going to not be mean about it. Like, the truth is, all of us are not going to be pro streamers. We're not. Like, the equipment has become so much more accessible than ever has been before, and it's opened a door for us to all try, and you have an opportunity. But the reality of it is like, everyone's not going to be Dr. Disrespect. Yep. Everyone's not going to be Tim the Tap Man. Everyone's not going to be Tex. Everyone's not going to be Black Fox. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not saying don't push for it. I'm not saying don't go for it. But like, it really, really has to start with the fact that you're doing something for the sake of loving it. Because if you think that you're going to just buy expensive equipment and immediately have 10,000 viewers online and get all these sponsorships and money, like, you are going to be unbelievably, pathetically disappointed, and you're going to burn out incredibly. Like, I'll tell you right now, I spent years building the current rig that I'm using and years building my setup. And for whatever reason, I was under the belief when I first started streaming that just getting on and having good looking camera and good looking audio was going to set me apart from everybody else that had terrible audio and cameras. And I was going to have hundreds of viewers that were just going to magically find my stream and be like, oh my God, this guy's stuff looks and sounds incredible, so he must be the truth. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, it doesn't. Like, what matters is you, the way you interact with your community, the way you're talking about it. So the thing that I disagree with him on is I do think that what people are coming to watch is the content creator. Now, there are obviously, like, guys like Black Fox, who I'm not saying is a bad creator, but this dude is a demon at Call of Duty, right? He's way better at Call of Duty than I'm ever going to be. There are people that are going to watch Black Fox streams. I watch Black Fox streams, and I'm like, number one, why is everyone in Resurgence always parachuting over you? It's unbelievable. I never get this many people in the air over me to kill. This guy shoots people out of the air like nothing I've ever seen, and it's impressive. And so I do go to watch his gameplay. But guys like Tim the Tap Man, Tim sucks at every game he plays. I don't watch his streams because he's a good gamer. I watch him because he's engaging, the way he talks to his community. He's funny. He's all those sorts of things. And so understanding who you are and where you are, if you don't like just getting online and talking to people, like, you probably shouldn't be online.
Yeah, and
like,
I think,
yeah,
no, I think you're right. Now, and some people do a fantastic job at explaining things. Sometimes too, like, doubling down and finding your niche is also very tough to do.
Yeah.
I think for me as a streamer, I've kind of felt like I've had a hard time trying to figure out kind of what my niche is. I still don't know. I think that it's almost kind of explaining the technical aspect of it and kind of doing like walkthroughs, because those typically tend to be pretty good, do well for me, which it makes me kind of sad because I would like to think I'm kind of funny. I may be funny looking, but maybe, maybe a little fun and chuckle every now and then, that'd be kind of good. Sentinel says, Tim's okay at Rivals, so not so sure about that, honestly. And Black Fox says, use your vibes for what you're playing or doing. And I think so, Black Fox. I think, playing to your strength is important and trying to figure that out and then kind of doubling down on it. I mean, it's just crazy.
The only person that I've ever seen successfully be just an absolute demon of a gamer that doesn't have a lot of personality, and over the years, his personality has absolutely grown. But like, early Shroud, like, people were just going to go watch him because he was unbelievable at any game he touched. I mean, he was an absolute demon. He's even today, his camera quality is not great. It's a really small box right on his face. He has like no background. Like, it's like, it's not like a production quality thing. It's like, go watch this really, like, respectfully nerdy looking dude go be good at video games. And like, he would be so locked in on the game, and then every so often be like, chat, like, oh hey, whatever, blah blah blah. And he's way better about it. But like, he built his career on being incredible at gaming. And I think for the most of us, if we're honest, it's just not that. So it goes back to like my main thesis of like, why are you going live? If you're going live because you hate your job, I don't know, man. That's tough. It's super tough, So yeah, and Black Fox says Shroud's stream is not about him, it's about his gameplay. And he knows that. And so he leverages that, and he goes and he's absolutely completely and totally cracked. I'm not that guy. I just streamed for an hour and a half. Like the first hour and a half of my stream of PUBG 2 nights ago, I think an hour and a half I didn't get a single kill. I just got brutalized for an hour and a half, and we laughed about it, we joked about it, and Chad had a good time, and that's what it was. And so knowing where you are and what your expectations are, and kind of doing it that way.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. We got it. So Fox is saying you got to use your vibes for what you're playing. Absolutely got to do that. Shroud says, and he says Shroud's not about himself, it's not about his gameplay. I'm curious, Sentinel Zer, how do you say? I'm sorry, I'm
Sentinel Zero.
Sentinel Zero, dude. Yeah, words together confuse my old brain.
Same
Sentinel
here.
Zero, I'd love to hear your opinion of who you watch and why you watch them. And also anyone in chat, like why is it that you watch the people that you're watching? What draws you to different streams? And then how does that influence what you're doing when you hit go live?
Yeah, because with Sentinel Zero, he does make really good content. He's really good at figuring out like the dynamics of the games and how do they do basically proper builds and stuff like that. He's a great guy. I absolutely love going and hanging out with him when I can catch him. You know, catching everybody's stream is definitely difficult for me, for sure.
Black Fox says when he started playing Expedition 33, he had to totally shift his vibe. And stream is a very different gameplay. The people are different, the vibes are different. So Black Fox, do you feel like that game is attracting a different audience to you than your normal audience? And then this is a question I think that like multi-streamers or variety streamers face all the time, because traditionally the viewpoint has been like, hey, find your game, that's your niche, and like rock that game out until there's no more blood left in it. For you as a Call of Duty streamer that switched into Expedition, do you feel like you lost some of your core viewers? Did you gain new, like what was the benefit for you, plus and minus on that? Because you have been playing a lot of Expedition 33 and it is very different than Call of Duty.
Yeah, and Sentinel also says, I prefer watching people that play games for a challenge, not necessarily fun. And see, I get that. I get that vibe 100% when I catch your streams, because I was like, I sent him a video one time. I was like, hey, check out this freaking really cool build in a Suicide Squad. And he's like, he goes, it's okay. You can do this and this and twist it. And I was like, he was right. And then so I appreciate his feedback on that, because he does do a really great job at demonstrating builds and doing damage and running challenges in the games that he plays. I think, for me too, like being a variety streamer, it's very tough. Because a lot of times when I first started, I started out with Destiny. And so everybody who played Destiny, that's what we did all the time. So we built up our audience. And then when we decided to switch, because we got burnt out on playing Destiny, we lost a whole bunch of people. We switched to PUBG and it just freaking took a nosedive. And at that point, I was like, I just want to play what makes me happy and stuff like that. And hopefully other people do the same. And if they come for certain games, that's cool, because I enjoy variety. I can't get stuck on one thing. But Black Fox says, very different audience, and streams truly been better, longer lasting people. COD, people come and say hi for 5-10 minutes, then leave.
I think a lot of that's the game too, though. Specifically Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty is so burned out right now, and everyone. I mean, even like the greatest Call of Duty like sympathizers are so done with like what's happening in the game, and like for me, I see that they're advertising American Dad skins, and again, the cheating is worse than it's ever been in the game. The Call of Duty experience, and Warzone specifically, is worse than it's ever been. And they're like, hey, look, you can play as American Dad. And it's like, I feel like they're totally lost. And the reason I'm saying that is not just because we think the Call of Duty's lost. Everybody understands that. But like, I think that even like the viewership and the community that's surrounding the game is ready for something new.
Yes.
Ready for something that's a different wrinkle. And not just because like we're chasing new. I mean, the people that have been faithful to Call of Duty have been faithful to Call of Duty for years.
That's very true.
And now, I mean, even how bad is it when you bring freaking Verdansk back, and it's almost killed the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird to see everybody kind of complain. I know that they're trying to sell skins and stuff with the American Dad skins, and they did Beavis and Butthead, and they did the Ninja Turtles, which I mean, the Ninja Turtles, fantastic. I mean, anybody wants to bring in Ninja Turtle skins, you got my approval. 100%. I'm going to buy your game. I grew up with freaking Ninja Turtles, and I freaking love those guys. Beavis and Butthead too. I'm waiting for the Ren and Stimpy one. I think that would be freaking fantastic.
I saw this the other day. I saw a video that someone posted where one of the Ninja Turtles killed the Terminator with a assassination that was Cornholio. Like a Ninja Turtle called Cornholio out that like kicked the Terminator T-800 or whatever it is in the face, and that like I was like, what is happening? What is this game? But I'll be honest with you, and like if you want my opinion, okay, I think that like this is something that you can learn from like a gameplay standpoint into like a streamer standpoint, right? Call of Duty had the market cornered on what Call of Duty was.
Yep.
And then the executives of Call of Duty saw this huge deal in Fortnite, and they've tried to make Call of Duty be Fortnite, and it's completely torn that community in half. And I think the hard thing is when you try to do some of like the Fortnite child geared things. I mean, the reality of it is like that game, like supposedly my son couldn't even buy that game. You know what I mean? They're making a ton of content that's aimed at my son. It's just it's so confusing as to if they even know what the market is, or if they're just like, we don't care. This American Dad skin is going to make us $10 million and whatever. Like,
yeah, I think sometimes it feels like it's a little bit of both. Personally, in my own opinion, people want to sell skins. I don't really care. I know a lot of true diehard COD players are very upset about it. I've seen Silver Fox talk about it. I've seen Italian CEO talk about it. And that's, and I get that. I can understand that. I think, a battle royale is good. I'm kind of looking forward to playing, what is it, Off the Grid, which I know you played with Lumpy the other day.
Oh, I played yesterday Off the Grid, and this is a game that's a really weird story to me, because I remember about a year and a half ago when they started announcing it, and they put Doc and Tim, that was back when those guys were all still talking. They put them through like some early playtesting things, and like there's content that was coming out on Twitter from like those early playtests. And I remember seeing Doc fighting and like grapple hooking across and thinking like, man, this BR, it's different. Like this is a little bit different than anything I've seen. And then the game came out 6 or 8 months ago. And for me, like, I guess I'm kind of a variety streamer, which people would laugh at because I play PUBG like a lot. But I'm more like a competitive gamer. And like the thing for me about PUBG that draws me into it is it's competitively, even though there's cheating in PUBG, I'm not saying there's not cheating. I got a great video up about this guy that was like ground hacking. It's like one of the most blatant cheats I've ever seen in my life, from last week.
Yeah,
but like it's much more competitive, and it's a like take your shots, hit your shots, play the map, be tactical. Like that's what I like about the game. And so like my second game that we play, very simple game, hyper competitive, Rocket League. We play a lot of Rocket League because we love how like that. It's a very simple. There's no cheese to it. It's not, well, I found a chest that had like a nuke in it and I killed the whole map by pushing one button. It's nothing like that. And so when Off the Grid came out, I was stoked. And like the movement is so good. Like the game moves like butter smooth. At the time, it wasn't optimized as well as it is now, so it was a little bit stuttery at times. But the thing that turned me off from the game was the gunplay was terrible. The gunplay was awful. Everything was from the hip, and there was no way to really dial in, even when you did over the shoulder, kind of like that slight zoom in from hip to over the shoulder. Like it just wasn't accurate. And so I felt like all these gunfights were just like spray and pray, and it didn't matter how good or bad you were. If you jumped around and you're just shooting, then eventually you're gonna hit somebody or you're gonna die, and that's it. I hated that. And so they've been adding like, and I kept giving the devs feedback. I mean, I literally was sending emails and discords and private messages on Twitter and having some discourse and saying like, guys, like you are not going to ever get the competitive base that you want if this game is not balanced and competitive, and your gunplay is terrible. Like everything else about your game, I'm bought in. And so it came to Steam. They've been working on this stuff coming to Steam, and they've really changed a lot of that. They're calling it first person. I would just call it ADS, where when you scope in, you're able to do that. And so now you're hip firing when hip firing would be done in like a close quarter situation. But if I'm able to switch to that, it's not perfect. It's a lot better. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun playing it with Lumpy yesterday because it's at least on that path. And as a game that's in early development, I'm stoked to see what Off the Grid does. If they would do it like PUBG, where you can switch back and forth between first and third, like full time, I think they're going to be there. I don't know if that's going to happen. Sniping feels clean. The gunplay mechanics when you're ADSing feels pretty accurate, but it still doesn't feel super accurate to me when you're from the hip, which I guess it shouldn't be when you're just hip firing, but you've got to really double down and do that. So that's my long aside on. I had a lot of fun playing Off the Grid.
That's
I can't
good.
wait for you to join.
I'm gonna try. I mean, it's been good to be able to play PUBG with you and get back in there again, because I mean, I
love it,
dude. I broke my teeth on some good PUBG. You know what I mean? And good morning, Texas Attitude. It's okay that you're late, dude. You're forgiven. You know, five lashes with a wet spaghetti noodle, and you'll be right as rain.
There you go.
But really, you guys, I mean, we're coming up on the hour, and so basically kind of the goal of the program that we kind of want to do, we want to do a show between 30 minutes and an hour, make it to where it's kind of bite-sized about the different things that we talk about. We're going to cover stuff like hardware. We're going to cover stuff like lighting. We're going to cover stuff like working with brands. What does that look like? What brands can you work with? Who do you basically talk to? How do you talk to them? All that kind of good stuff. We're going to go through and we're going to kind of, narrow down on the program, how we kind of do that. I'm working on trying to get guest appearances too as well, like Rumble Rick. Hopefully he's going to be coming on. I'm DMing him, and I know he's super busy right now, so trying to touch bases with him. We've got Pudge TV is going to be joining us too as well. I've talked to him, just got to nail down a time with that. And then of course I got to work on an overlay, how that's all going to work with everybody at the freaking show. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of what we're going to be kind of working on. And, the one thing that I did want to kind of go over today. Okay. So we go over one thing that is part of the tools of the trade. If you guys are a Rumble user. Okay. Let me change scenes here and hopefully it'll be kind of good. So this is another account that I basically went ahead and I kind of set up, and let me make sure. I don't know why chat is deciding that it does not want to show up. But where is the Rumble chat too? Okay. Hopefully it'll pull it. Okay, there we go. You guys talk in chat. You guys smash some emojis or something, please. That when you guys come and you guys create your account, two things you want to do. Okay. And I will go account options, and it's fine if you see my thing here. I don't have an address or whatever. Don't do PayPal, email. Two things I would suggest.
Hold on, Texas Attitude with the 5 gifted.
Hey, dude. Thank you so much, Texas Attitude. Appreciate that, dude.
And then also Black Fox, I saw you, dude. You tell me when, and we'll drag
New subscriber detected.
and we'll get some PUBG off the grid going.
Dude, thank you so much for doing that, Texas Attitude. I appreciate that. And here you go, Texas Attitude. Okay, if you win,
subs gifted by Texas Attitude for 5 gifts.
You will basically get your choice of a Nerd or Die stream package. Right here. So let me see, we do this, refresh it. You're going to get 3 spins because you gifted some subs, dude. Thank you for that. There's me, and then Goat. Okay, so there's 1. Okay, you didn't win that one. Here's...
Wait, but I could argue that you are the GOAT.
Well, technically I am. Rage, and then Black Rumble. All right, one more spin. Let me do this too as well, and then we'll get into what let's see. My Insta. I got to get my Stream Deck set up. I promise you guys I will. And that way then we won't no longer have to do this. Okay. And so here we go. We got it. So now we got the special sound effect, Ray, like you talked about.
There you go.
Okay, you ready? There we go. Last one, goat, and Black Rumble. All right. All right. So you almost got the Rumble love, and then you got goated. So there you go. But anyway, thank you very much, dude. Seriously, for all your support and your friendship, Texas Attitude. I very much appreciate you, my friend, and welcome everybody to Club Beardo.
Boys, you stick together.
Yes, I've known him for how long have we known each other, Texas Attitude? Probably going on now 5-6 years, I think. Really great guy.
You know what? Boom says goat nope. I think that's what you should name that segment.
Goat nope. That's good. Goat nope. Goat nope.
Duck goose. Goat nope.
Okay, so getting back to setting up your Rumble account, you guys, very important.
Yes,
for those of you guys that are new, if you guys are going to come here, the good thing about Rumble is that you can get absolutely Texas Attitude, and we will. She seems like it's it's been longer than that, but that's amazing. 7-ish years. That you can get monetized pretty much like straight away, which is absolutely amazing about Rumble. So many other platforms, YouTube or Twitch or whatever, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops in order to get to that point. With Rumble, you're basically monetized day one. And how you do that is you need to go in, do your email address, and then what you're also going to do is you're going to do your phone. And I'm going to show you guys how to verify that here in a second. But the two things that you're going to want to make sure to do when you come to Rumble, set up your user account, and then make sure you guys are going to be setting a channel. Rumble suggests that you use channels to set your stuff up rather than using a user profile. Why that is the case, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna like change it later on, but that is just rule of thumb. Channels are the way to go, and it makes sense. The cool thing about being on Rumble is that if your user is monetized, everything else that you create under different channels is also monetized. Even if you only have 2 followers, people can still sub and you can still make ad revenue and all that other kind of stuff. That's one of the things I love about Rumble. So you don't have to worry about like YouTube, where if you have like a channel, just like say Ray, you were doing it for just PUBG. And then you decide, you know what I wanted to do now and off the grid, you go to create a whole separate channel. Well, now you have to jump through all the hoops all over again in order to get that channel monetized and part. Yeah, and start from zero. But once you do set the channel, if you have your channel the same as your username, make sure this right here, preferences, hide my username from search results, is checked. Because when people go to look for you, both are going to pop up. And they're going to be like, I don't know which one to follow. And so you're going to be splitting follows. Make sure this is set here. You're going to basically, update. And I think there is, okay, settings have been successfully. Okay, so basically now if I was to go and look for this thing after I did a channel about under the same username, no one's going to be able to see it. It's just not going to be there. You can choose to display your number of monthly subscribers on your profile and such, and it's up to you. Yeah, and that's important, Texas Attitude. And so in order to use like Rumble Studio, which is honestly one of the most amazing tools that we have given to us by Rumble, and there's stuff coming out that I can't talk about,
dude. But it seems like every week there's something new.
I know they're working hard in the background.
Oh my goodness. And I'll tell you what, like, if you guys only take one thing away from this entire show in regards to like the Rumble tech, this RTMP pass-through changed everything. Like, huge quality upgrade. Unbelievable quality upgrade.
Yes, sorry.
They switched this RTMP pass-through, man. Like, and I've used a lot of platforms that let you multi-stream. It is the cleanest feed I have found in streaming.
And of course, it does, and it's not to say that RTMP does not have some bugs sometimes. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. It's new. Sure.
But the cool thing about it, you guys, is that you can multi-stream to a bunch of different places, really super high quality, up to 8K if you're, which is 1080p. If you're a free user, to as many as 12 different locations, which is insane. You can't get that almost with any other program. I think Meld kind of does something like that. I haven't really looked into Meld for that aspect of it.
Meld is doing in their aspect, but I will say this: like I was stoked to cancel my Restream.io membership.
Yes. And so with Rumble Studio, it's free. And then, of course, they're also building in other tools and stuff like that. We're going to go through that later. I kind of want to try to get into it today, but we just ran out of time just chit-chatting and talking shop, and that's kind of the name of the game. And so, Black Fox says, I never understood the channel thing, been streaming just off your main account. You'll have to look into it more. And that's totally up to you, Black Fox. It's kind of good to separate your user from your channels, so that way then you can have all your different kinds of content basically as channels rather than through your user.
So for me, when I start doing football content here in a couple of weeks when we get to training camp, I'm bringing my Redskins content to Rumble. I'm going to set up a new channel for Son of Washington. Now, I hope that the community follows over and supports, obviously.
They will.
But I also understand that, like, the majority of my gaming community is not necessarily going to be my football community.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some bleed. So I want the football community to feel like they have a place to find. So I'm going to, like, ThisIsTheRay is my master account that, like, oversees all of it. I've got ThisIsTheRay Gaming. I'm going to have the Son of Washington podcast. I'm going to have, whatever those different things are. Yeah,
you're welcome, Black Fox. You're welcome. And so if you do something like that, the cool thing about Rumble, once you
said go Cardinals.
That's all right, dude. Is that pretty sad? Should we give him a crowd applause or a boo?
I think you should give him a spin of the wheel.
A spin of the wheel for that statement? Okay, we can give him a spin of the wheel. You ready? You ready for this, Black Fox? Just because we feel bad for you.
Just really love you.
So here we go. What'd you get? Rumble, and you got Ray. So you got Raid.
Oh, you got Raid. Sorry.
You got Raid, dude.
Texas Attitude just became my very favorite person in the world. Go anyone but the Dallas Cowgirls.
Why do they?
My man. Yes. Hail to the freaking Redskins and down with the Cowboys. Let's do it. Two favorite football teams: the Washington Redskins and anyone that plays the Cowboys.
Really? Why? What the hate? What is the hate with the Cowboys? I don't understand.
Oh, it is a deep rivalry. That's for another show.
And so anyway, so when you come to Rumble, the first thing you want to do to make sure that you guys can get, monetized, besides for selecting that one setting with having your username not show up in search results, is do your verification. Once you do your verification status, then you can go into Rumble Studio 2 as well. And you can go straight in and do direct RTMP feature. It's super simple. We're going to go ahead and we'll do this because this is actually a number that I do have that maybe we'll use for a call in one of these days. And let's see what happens right here. Mobile text me. What do you mean the number can't be verified? What are you talking? It's like right here in front of me. Okay, apparently it can't be verified. But anyway, okay, let's try this. Unfortunately, the number cannot be verified. Country code. How does it not 210? It might be because it is a Google Voice number, maybe?
Could be.
Could be. So we'll just leave it at that. But once you do that and you get it verified, bless, welcome to
Bless
the
gift of membership.
That's right. Welcome to the bearded weirdos. Appreciate that.
New subscriber detected. Enter kodtaxan.
Okay, once you basically do here, and I'll basically one of these days I'll get on my own account and we'll just do it this way. But you can go to Rumble Studio. You can sign up for free. You can sign in. But see, like right now, you need to verify your account. But once you do, you get in. And I guess maybe I can probably show mine because I'm doing it in a whole separate deal. But let me show you guys this real quick. So this is the actual background. This is what's going on with the show right now. This tells us the viewers are not showing for whatever particular reason, but I'm assuring that you guys are here, right? So we got 56 people watching, 9 likes. Make sure you guys smack that like button.
Yeah, it costs nothing to hit the repost button, friends.
Oh, man. That sucks. You guys saw my stream key. I'm going to have to change that after the show. Damn it. Curses. Anyway, so you press this button here, and then now, of course, we have our new stream overlays, which they're going to be adding more content going forward. I'm really super excited to look at it. But you can do your live chat on stream if you want to. You can do viewer stats, which talk about how many viewers are watching. You can do pinned messages too as well on your overlay. And then the ad banner for basically doing ad reads and stuff like that is coming for Rumble Studio, which is great with the RTMP pass-through. For those of you guys that have used it before, you guys know that in the original, we would be able to do ad reads, get a little bit of, funds and stuff like that, but they kind of took it away with the pass-through. But luckily, they're bringing it back. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But all that to say, go to Rumble. When you guys create a new account, make sure you hide your username, create a channel for yourself here. Go under channels, my channels. Go ahead and create it. All you need is 10 followers to grab your pretty URL. So make sure to put it out on X and so forth. The Rumble community is very, very, very helpful. They're friendly. If you put in like your stream title, first time streaming on Rumble, you're going to get a ton of people in there to say hi to you, and you're going to get follows. The community here is like none other. 100%.
It's been insane, dude. Insane.
Yeah.
I'm just over a month, and in the month that I've been here, I'm getting close to like 200,000 views in a month, which is wild to me.
I know.
We're knocking on 300 followers, which I think that some of these guys like Black Fox are lapping me on their followers and their view counts. But to me, it's not like I didn't bring over a community like he did. And so to come in kind of fresh and use it as a fresh start, and to see like the way that people have connected, the way that like the ambassadors have interacted, the way that beyond ambassadors, some of the larger account creators have it's like nothing I've ever seen. Like legitimately, I cannot like push out more the difference in Rumble while Rumble is growing. If you're a content creator that's been looking for something to grow with, like this is your sign. Like go do it. Like just go jump in. This community is going to support you like never before. I got guys. I mean, freaking Hexic, dude. This week Hexic is like going into like this is the Ray support mode. He's like boosting my Discord. Like these guys are insane, man. And for no other reason, they just want to be supportive. And so this community is like nothing I've ever been a part of. Super stoked to be here. Yeah,
it's amazing because I remember like when you and I were talking before Ray started on here. He, him and I sat down. We talked for a couple hours, and he was like, "Should I really be doing this?" He goes, "Why?"
By the way,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And he's like, is Rumble really where I should try to be? And I was like, absolutely. I said, there's no community like the Rumble community. I said, there's no way for me to describe it to you. You just have to, experience it yourself. Now, the crazy thing is too, like when I first started, I put in my title, first time streaming on Rumble. One guy came in, freaking donated $50 and just said hi and hung out for a while. And I was like, what the? It's like, where did that come from?
Awesome.
And of course, you know, meeting guys like Lumpy and Bless, if you're still in chat too as well. I met Bless here on one of my first days here. Also Fox. And they just made me feel welcome as a user and as a gamer. So I just put my roots down, started streaming. And then they released the API, created the bot with RumbleBot. For the platform, which of course, if you guys got questions about that too as well, let me know in chat. And I've just been here ever since. And so my goal has been to try to give back to you guys. And that's why we're doing this show. That's why, you know, I want to have Ray on here because he is a master craftsman in his aspect with doing video and lighting. And I would say audio too as well, Ray. You do an amazing job.
We're working on it. And it can always be better, but here we go.
Oh, am I being featured? That's awesome, dude. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on right now, but thank you guys. Me no spell.
Black Fox says this. Look, Black Fox says it was. I said this was my first stream, and Pudge ended up rating with over 50.
Yep,
and everything
changed everything. I know, and then you get to meet all these different people that have the same, you know, backgrounds. They actually allow you to be who you want to be. You can say what you want to say here, which is very important. And so Rumble is the place to be. You know, I would encourage everybody to become a Rumble Premium member. It's $10 a month. You get ad-free viewing. If you use code STUDIO, I believe, at checkout, you get 10% off for a yearly subscription, which is what I do. Link is down below, which you can see in the overlay in the bottom right-hand corner. And then also make sure for your channels, guys, you can do emotes. And I know that with my Rumbot live music, you know, channel, I have not put emotes yet. Shame on me. I got too many things on my plate. But you can go to your channels here.
Emotes works pretty easy too.
Yeah, you can have
like,
up
it's
to,
not hard at all. I
think around like 30 emotes, I think, including animated GIFs and stuff like that. For free. You don't have to jump through any hoops. It's just available for you. There's a tool. Make sure you guys use it because it's something that is definitely worth using on your stream, you know. And so if you guys got any questions about that, about setting up an account, verification process, all that stuff, let me know. Also want to give a shout out and thanks to Mr. Wiz, who creates the StreamBot, which is also another tool here that streamers use on Rumble. His main account has gotten deactivated. Hopefully Rumble's taking a look at it. I have faith in them that they are. So Wiz, you know, hopefully you get your main account back. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I know it's going around on X this morning, but I do know that Rumble does care. So hopefully they're looking at it. But Ray, in closing comments here, do you have anything that you wanna add or say?
Yeah, the thing that I would say is, like, obviously, guys, like, this is a journey, and remember that what we're doing is a journey. You may not have the camera set up or the lighting set up or the audio set up that you see some of the other streamers have. Don't let that discourage you. And even the things that we talked about earlier, when I said this, I said very clearly, like, everyone's probably not going to go pro.